Hello, I'm Diane Chaplin, and I am playing this live stream from Portland, Oregon on October 3rd, 2023. And I want to thank you for listening, whether you're listening to the live performance or you're watching this afterwards. I really appreciate you being there. This concert is called In Memoriam. And when I first decided to do it, I wanted to play these pieces, and fall seemed like an appropriate time as the lushness of summer starts to die away. It seemed like an appropriate time for a concert that memorializes people who have passed. And then I realized that in the Hebrew calendar, this falls directly between two times that we say memorial prayers for our dearly beloved that have departed us. Last week at Yom Kippur, we said Yizkor prayers, and this weekend at Shmini Atzeret, again, this group community remembrance of our loved ones will be observed. So it seems really right to have this going on. Additionally, this past weekend, I went to a high school reunion, and one of the things that was very emotional was seeing all the photos from the yearbook, a slideshow of our classmates that are no longer with us. It was very sad to see that. So I'm playing this program in honor of those that have passed that I know, those that have passed that you know, those that have passed that none of us know, and just kind of putting this out there as a memorial concert. The composers have written all these pieces. I'm going to play 5 pieces, and every one of them was written specifically as a commemoration of someone who had died. Some of them personal, some of them international, but they all were written so that the composers could express their grief and their sense of mourning through music, because music is a universal language that expresses emotions that sometimes words can't convey. So in these pieces, you're going to hear a wide range of emotion, from peace to anger to desperation to silence. You'll hear many things, and I'm not going to really describe what goes on in the pieces. I'll let you just listen to that. But I would like to invite you, if you feel like it, if it so moves you, and you are thinking of people that you've lost, if you want to write their names in the chat as the concert goes, or write thoughts that you're having about the pieces, if they bring up anything, it's obviously not required. And just be aware that those comments will stay up on Facebook and on YouTube for as long as the concert stays there. I'm not going to look at any comments during the performance. I will look afterwards. After the broadcast is done, I will read them, and I usually say hello to people that way. But I do invite you to kind of share in this concert, which is called In Memoriam. I'm going to play the compositions actually in chronological order of composition. And I'm going to start with a piece by the Argentinian composer Astor Piazzolla, who is very famous for tangos. This piece is called Adios Nonino, and it was written in October 1959, a few days after his father's death. And it is one of his more famous pieces. So when I get into the middle where the melody happens, you may recognize the tune. This version is in the form of a concert caprice for solo cello by the British composer who lives and works in Spain, David Johnstone. So this is Adios Nonino by Astor Piazzolla in a version by David Johnstone. That was Adios Nonino by Astor Piazzolla and David Johnston. The next piece was written in October 1980 by the American composer Gwyneth Walker. It is called In Memoriam. It was written in honor of her uncle, who was a poet, Richard Raymond. That was In Memoriam by Gwyneth Walker. On December 21st, 1988, Pan Am Flight 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland in a terrorist attack that killed everyone on board. On board were 35 exchange students from Syracuse University who perished in that tragedy. The composer of the next piece, Paul Brantley, who's also a cellist, was just finishing his first semester of college teaching at Syracuse University when this disaster happened. When the school came back in session after the Christmas break, which was what those students were coming back for after the holidays, in January 1989, they held a memorial service for those students, and Paul Brantley composed and performed this next piece on that memorial service. It is called Crystal Tide Forever. Those are words from the old hymn tune that this is based on, Shall We Gather at the River. This is Crystal Tide Forever by Paul Brantley. That was Crystal Tide Forever by Paul Brantley. The next piece is called In Memoriam. It is by the American composer Mayra Warschauer. And the subtitle is September 11th, 2001. That was In Memoriam by Mayra Warschauer. In February of 2012, a 17-year-old African-American boy was gunned down in Florida. His killer was initially not even charged because of vigilante laws in Florida. But in the next year, in 2013, the killer was finally taken to trial and was acquitted. He was found not guilty. The year after that, in 2014, the composer James Lee III wrote this piece, which is called Abraham's Sons, in Memoriam, Trayvon Martin. That was Abraham's Sons in Memoriam, Trayvon Martin by James Lee III. Thank you so much for listening. My heart is with you if you are thinking of people who have passed. I will see you again the first Tuesday of November with a program called Dark Side of the Mind. Bye.